Welcome back to the Willis Podcast. Yeah, we back. We here. It's been a minute. Yeah, I had to take a break, take a little time off, renew, refresh, rejuvenate. Always taking time for self, not taking my time away from you guys. It's just, sometimes you have to really rejuvenate yourself into a place to where you can understand how to come back at your audience or come back at your people, your subscribers. I do a lot for you because I want you to continue to listen to me. So thank you for tuning into the Willis Podcast. I appreciate you guys so much. It's the cost of being calloused. Yeah. What is America losing? Well, practically nothing. America is losing things. It's reforming. America is positioning itself. It's just when you have a lot of people that enjoy, value, and love the experiences of being dominant with no form of recourse of how to maintain dominance. It's strange, because I want to let you know that, so the cost, and that's the cost of being calloused. See, being callous has to do with a lot of things. And we're going to get into this. We're going to get all into this for real. But you got to think about how do we survive of all things or of all about becoming emotionally dead inside. So if you calloused on the outside, that starts to matriculate internally. You see, America has been callous a long time it's because of positioning and the rest of the world not having a proper vision of seeing, which makes that a specific issue for everyone. So, but why everybody want to be like big old bully? Because nobody understood the cost, and that cost became extremely high, very high cost. So, being aware of danger is wisdom. That's what the Black American class here, the copper colored, American Indians, FBAs, we understood the cost of danger. Danger. We knew that if you can just change everything on a drop of a dime and blame it on Congress, but everybody's pivoting a specific way that don't look like me, then somebody knows something you don't know. Huh. Because if we're standing, fighting, and pivoting for the same thing, and then your certain allies become your distant enemies, that lets you know something's wrong. They don't fuck with me no more. That's just what it is. Wow. So we started understanding a few things. Like I thought we was all in this together. And when certain people started to understand and maintain and understand the system of governing America, how you want to run things, how you want to position yourself to be in positions of power, and even in those positions of power, when it came to Black foreigners, they was put in those positions to hurt Black Aboriginals or indigenous people. And they was all in for it because these things happen in phases and stages, right? First of all, they see it. I'm Jamaican. I'm Haitian. I'm Dominican. I'm Panamanian. I'm everything but American. So they say these people are so unified, they think that all Black people are together. And it's not us that told y'all that, you told us that we were not. So let's not repeat these repetitive things that has already been resolved and solved, because when everything was in your favor and how you knew it to be, you was all good. As long as you can get some. Yeah, as long as you can pay your damages back at home, as long as you can pay for your people back at home, as long as you can, fit the bill to say that you're successful, then you made it in the Americas. Because everybody know The things that a lot of foreigners don't know. Why do you think America was able to sell or be a hub the way it is? Because the Aboriginal class here invented every damn thing for you to do so. As a matter of fact, everything that you have ever known was from the West, even how you eat. Do you understand? So let's read this right here. You know how I love to go back into this book. This is by the Ancient Egyptian Maze. This is by Gunnar Thompson. Okay. So let's always get into the realness of the situation, because before we go a little further, we got to understand we're gonna dig into some main points here. It has to do with what does it mean to become callous in this country, and we're gonna also cover a callous form when something is rubbed repetitively. You see what I'm saying? When you rub somebody the wrong way repetitively, and then you're gonna sit up here, replace, rehearse the replaceal, and put it in motion that you can put other people into your place to do the things that you should have done that you made somebody else do. Think about these callous tricks. See, callousness comes from when a person has an agenda, so they have to build up a callous, a hatred, a disdain, everything that's against everything. That's what callousness is. It's numb, it has no feelings. But let's get into it. So the thing happens when people do what? Repeat disappointment, repeat betrayal, repeat lies, repeat injustice, and repeat loss. Yeah, there's an agenda behind it. So eventually people stop feeling what? They stop understanding what trust is. They stop understanding what trust is. They stop understanding everything about trusting, loving, listening, and building. And when enough people become callous, society becomes callous. You see, society as a whole becomes too tough to deal because nobody's willing to understand. And the reason why people reject and don't want to understand history to its real capacity is simply because of a few reasons. To be honest with you, it's they don't give a shit about where they come from, and some people don't give a shit about where they're going. But I'm here to tell you, like, does it matter where they come from? Hell yeah, it matters where you come from. Does it matter where you're going? Hell yeah, it matters where you're going. But to be honest with you, where you are presently is the most important situation, because where you are presently is how you're going to get those other places. So I tell you, a problem that we have as people, especially in this country, you like judging people. You like calling people something that they identify with that they are, and you want to say that they're not that. How? Yes, they are. What if you have a white male adopted by a black family? 9 times out of 10, that love, that compassion that boy going to receive is something that he's going to carry on. So he's not going to be like a lot of whites. And there are some white fathers that will teach their sons not to hate other males, make friends, be appropriate, carry yourself well, and they'll teach you things. And then you have the calloused people in society, the contrarians. They was raised that way. That's how they operate. But you have to understand there's a difference between a person that's being aware and callous. Let's get back to it. First of all, when people agree on everything or not, people want safety. They want their families to be okay. They want opportunity, respect, prosperity, truth, and freedom. But when you have these callous cowards in society, that's the reason why they're so damn callous. See, callous means you can't grow. And that also means you have a calcified pineal gland. You don't know the concept of growing. You would rather do things over and over again, like being destructive, taking lives, uh, retrieving money that don't belong to you, acting as if everything in the world is yours because you are lost and you have lost and you have been lost for quite some time. But if you think about it, don't become what you fight. And that's the problem with a bunch of callous people. They become what they operate against, what they fight against. They become that. So, one of the greatest mistakes people make is becoming the very same thing they claim to oppose. Yeah, they do. If you fight hatred with hatred, hasn't hatred already won? Think about it. If you fight manipulation with manipulation, doesn't manipulation wins? If you fight division with division is the champion. The victory comes when you maintain your principles while confronting your problems on set and on site. You can't mass apply anything to any kind of people, all people, because then you're repeating the same thing that was done to you. Think about it. See, in order to sit up here and make a claim and stake a claim and say what you're going to do while you're doing it, do you have a plan? Do you have an actual plan? Do you have a specific plan that's going to navigate your way to where you're supposed to be and how you're going to achieve and get there? Think about those things. So we have to get to a point to where we understand purpose, because purpose lets you know who you are. What do you what and also what you stand for? The principles won't. Let me tell you something. Principles won't compromise you. Your principles will never compromise you. Only you can compromise you when you break principles. But let's go further. What kind of world are you helping to create? Can you smile through it all, watching everything burn while your family's okay? In the same world that you're trying to create to make your family okay, let your wife go shopping. She got a nice bag and everybody downtown broke. See, everybody, if everybody was, if she got a nice bag and everybody else had nice bags, why do you want to be such a standout anyway? What's the use with the wanting a bag? A supreme insecurity again. That's what you teach yourselves. Supreme insecurities. See, what you have to understand is a few things. Cooperation is not weakness. I mean, many people believe cooperation means surrender. No, cooperation means recognizing where interests are aligned. You understand that? You dig that? Where interests are actually aligned. So history always has been full. History always been built on what? Alliances and who even can do things for bad when they should have and could have done things for good. But also, people accomplish more together than alone. That's how they get to do things. You can use the same principles to do good. But the strongest communities understand this. They really do. They really have a way of understanding and building ways up and out of turmoil. Because the cost of being callous is the reason why America can't heal. We're extremely calloused people. You know, there are changes and challenges, and we know that people don't want the best for us. Yeah, they when they heard and when they know the truth about situations, they will participate in every way to bury the truth. Act like the truth is not the truth because they want the stories that they write to be the propagandized truth, what everybody wants to believe, what they want the world to believe. But you have to know the truth for you because there are things like books, manuscripts, chapters. It's a whole lot of elements out here to help you reach your specific truth. You just gotta know how to do it. And some of it costs money, but it's available and it can get accomplished. So the goal, we gotta get to the end because we ain't gonna take it too long. But the goal is it's not to become callous. The goal is to become wiser. The goal is to become not bitter, but the opposite of it. The goal is to become stronger. The goal is not to hate, and the goal is to actually build. So you got to find the people that you're willing to and want to build with, because at the end of the day, if we already have common goals, then the question becomes, can we stop fighting each other long enough to achieve something together? That's just a thought. But I can tell you one thing: we can never achieve anything being calloused. Being calloused never allows us to grow. Being callous will never allow us to heal. Being calloused never heals relationship between one person from another. Being calloused is the ultimate betrayal to yourself, especially when you understand that being calloused keeps you from growing from within and out. Calcification is how your mind can't visualize. If you want to be callous, you want to be hateful and practice hateful acts, then you are callous. If you can't see the good and beauty of other people's acts, you are calloused. I'm going to read you this before I get up out of here. A gold jug from Babasti Treasure Hoard is in the Cairo Museum collection. The surface decoration duplicates the maize kernel of golden sweet corn in incredible precision. Towards the top, the kernels move. The kernels are more rounded and then grow more elliptical. Okay, elliptical towards the center of where they are compressed. The artist probably tried to duplicate the pattern of a corn cob. The silver jug in the same collection above was right at the surface and the patterns were very similar in a modern Peruvian popcorn. Jim Bailey, 1994, identified the Egyptian artifact as a New World popcorn. So that let me do one more. A painted symmetric relief below features two kinds of marsh plants: lotus, papyrus, and maize. The maize cobs are very similar to Babylonian marsh corn. Maize was raised in the Nile floodplain, where they also grew wild, abundant maize in ancient America, probably inspired Egyptians to call the overseas paradise, the field of reeds. That is America. That's America, ladies and gentlemen. That's America. Field of reeds, maize is a reed. So that's what I like to show you sometimes. You know, see for yourself. There you go. See for yourself. America is a very special, wonderful, intriguing place. And it's called the Americas. But it's still one landmass. All right, that's the show tonight. I appreciate you people for tuning into the Willis Podcast. Thank you so much. I love you, and I appreciate you for just, giving your time, your opportunity, and your efforts to come fuck with me. I'm sorry, just trying to make sure I ain't miss nothing, my people. All right, so I think we good. Being callous is not it's not a necessity. It's a choice. Open up your heart, learn how to love, learn how to be peaceful. That's the show tonight. But this is my favorite part. And always remember, the wheel is yours. Be cool. Find your spirituality, be peaceful, my people. I'll holler at you. Peace.